Shalini Newton Paul. Our today's topic is ChatGPT integration in Salesforce. Myself and Dharani going to demonstrate about this. We both are working in Mastech for the past 2+ years as a software engineer. Okay, now let's jump into our topic. So today's agenda is what is OpenAI and ChatGPT, what ChatGPT can do and how ChatGPT works, benefits of integrating ChatGPT in Salesforce, use case of ChatGPT in Salesforce, best practices, OpenAI limitations, integration process, technical implementation, and then demo. So OpenAI. OpenAI is a research organization that focuses on developing advanced AI technologies and promoting their responsible AI use. It was founded in December 2015 and it has huge recognition for its contribution to the field of artificial intelligence. OpenAI's mission to ensure that artificial general intelligence benefits of all humanity. OpenAI conducts cutting edge research in the field of artificial intelligence. It has developed AI models like GPT-3 and GPT-4. OpenAI is committed to making AI safe and ensuring that beneficial for society as a whole. They actively research methods to prevent harmful AI behaviors and promote the development of AI systems that respect for human values. It also aims to use its influence to ensure that AI technologies are used responsibly. They encourage the transparency and ethical AI practices which makes AI available to as many people as possible. They offer API access to their models and actively collaborate with partners and developers to create the innovative AI applications. OpenAI collaborates with various partners to address the global challenges related to AI. They work to establish best practices and guidelines for the responsible AI development. OpenAI's works had a significant to AI community, driving advancement in natural language processing, machine learning, and AI ethics. So next, the next one is what is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is a kind of GPT language model that was developed by OpenAPI. GPT models are designed to understand and generate human-like text-based responses on their input that they receive. Here, GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, where transformer refers to a specific architecture design for processing a sequential data, and pre-trained indicates the model has been trained on a massive amount of text data. GPT is specially trained to generate conversational responses and hold interactive dialogues. For example, if we ask anything to ChatGPT, the response and question will store in it. If we want later sometime, we can refer that. Basically, it designed to understand and generate relevant response in a conversation like chatbot. ChatGPT is built on top of OpenAPI's GPT 3.5 architecture. It is the third iteration of the GPT series and it has 175 billion parameters. These parameters are tunable elements of the model that allow to generate the text. GPT 3 GPT 3.5 has demonstrated the ability to perform wide range of language related tasks from answering a question to create a conversational interactions. For that, ChatGPT uses NLP to interact through simple language. Here, NLP stands for Natural Language Processing. It focuses on computers to understand and generate human language responses instead of machine language, which is both meaningful and useful. NLP helps the computer to understand the meaning of text. This can involve tasks like categorizing the text, determining the statements or emotions that are expressed in a text, and finding entity. Finding entity means identifying names, place, date, like this. NLP also used to convert spoken language into written language with the help of speech recognition technology. So next, moving on to the next slide is what ChatGPT can do. In general, ChatGPT can provide answer to our factual questions like inquiries about historical events, mathematical calculations, and general knowledge questions like this. For that, it can interpret and understand our user queries even when they are written differently. ChatGPT can work like customer support agent. It can assist users with tasks also, such as finding information on the internet, setting reminders, or providing explanations for how to perform certain actions. Next, it can also translate the text between two different languages and making it useful for language translation applications or helping users to communicate in different languages. Next, in coding and programming side, it can assist with code related tasks by generating a code snippet, explaining programming concepts, or helping with the debug issues. For example, if we have to write a test class for a particular Apex class, you have to send that particular code to the Chat GPT and ask to write a test class for it. Then it will generate a test code for the particular Apex class. In gaming side, game developers can use ChatGPT to simulate the dialogues and create non-player characters to enhance the interactive experience in video games. In educational support, ChatGPT is a valuable tool for learning and exploring new topics. It will explain complex concepts and providing tutoring in various subjects and assist with homeworks. Like if we're struggling to complete any maths problems, ChatGPT provides us the step-by-step solution. Not only this, ChatGPT can assist with content generation for blogs, articles, reports, and so on. It can be used to create a interactive chatbots for entertainment purpose also. In healthcare information, it can provide a general information about medical conditions, symptoms, and treatment options. However, it is not suitable for professional medical advice. So the next one is how ChatGPT can work. Pre-training and fine-tuning, input processing, context understanding, and then generating response. These are the main areas that ChatGPT can process and generate the response for us. Now let's see this in detail. ChatGPT is initially pre-trained on a massive amount of data containing wide range of text from the internet. During pre-training, the model learns language patterns, grammars, facts, and even some reasoning abilities by predicting what comes in the next sentence. After pre-training, the model fine-tuned on a narrow dataset that is designed to make it useful for specific tasks. Usually, our input is tokenized. Tokenized means breaking down into small words like a subword. Each tokens are corresponding to a desired unit of text. When we input a message or a prompt to a ChatGPT, the model processes the text and convert it into a numerical format it can work with, which is nothing but a binary format. Next, ChatGPT uses the provided input to understand the context of the conversation. It pays attention to the patterns and relationship in the text to grasp the conversation. Finally, based on the data it has learned from the pre-training, ChatGPT generates the responses that it believes it's appropriate. It generates one word text or a token at a time. Each word is being influenced by the previous word in the sequence. To make a decision about the next word, ChatGPT uses two techniques. One is sampling and another one is top key sampling. Sampling introduces the randomness and top key sampling consider the most likely next word, which can help in generating coherent responses. So far, any queries, team? If no, the other slides will cover by Dharan. Over to you, Dharan.
Hello everyone. So the next one is benefits of integrating ChatGPT in Salesforce. So the main benefits are immediate response, availability and scalability, reduced workload, productivity boost, and quick access to information. So let's see this in detail. So first, immediate response. So ChatGPT can provide instant response to common customer queries. It reduces wait times and improve customer satisfaction. It can handle multiple inquiries simultaneously, ensuring efficient handling of customer requests. The second one is availability and scalability. So ChatGPT ensures that customers receive consistent and accurate information. It reduces the risk of misinformation. So as the volume of customer inquiries grows, AI chatbots can effectively handle the load. And the next one is reduced workload. So routine and repetitive inquiries can be handled by chatbot. So it allows human support agents to focus on more complex issues. This will increase the productivity and cost savings. And the fourth one is productivity boost. So chatbots can qualify leads by asking predefined questions, saving time for sales representative by identifying potential prospects. So they can assist in lead generation and capture necessary contact information and guiding users through the sale process. And the final one is quick access to the information. So chatbot can collect valuable data and customer interaction preferences, which can be integrated into the Salesforce for better customer insights and decision making. So by automating the routine task and inquiries, organization can reduce operational costs associated with customer support and sales effort. So AI-powered chatbots can analyze customer data from Salesforce to provide personalized recommendation or responses. So they can access customer profile, purchase history, and any preferences to modify the interaction. So integrating Chat GPT into Salesforce can significantly enhance customer engagement, sales efficiency, and overall productivity. So moving on to the next. So use case of Chat GPT in Salesforce. So ChatGPT can be integrated into Salesforce to serve various use case. So across the different departments within our organization. So the first one is enhanced customer support, efficient lead generation and qualification, improved sales process and
Dharani, I think on you are on mute.
am I audible now?
Yes, Dani, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me continue with the use case of ChatGPT. So ChatGPT use cases are enhanced customer support, efficient lead generation, and improved sales process and data enrichment. So let me come up with an example. So a company generates a high volume of lead through its website, marketing campaigns, or anything. So it needs a quick way to qualify these leads and route them to an appropriate sales representative for follow-ups, right? So for this, we need a solution like lead qualification, instant scoring, and routing to the sales representatives. So first with lead qualification, when a lead interact with a company website or fills out a lead generation forms, ChatGPT can be embedded on a website or integrated with Salesforce to engage with the lead. Then the ChatGPT can ask questions to find the lead's level of interest with the organization or with a particular project and the budget, the timeline, and other relevant criteria. So it can also collect the basic information like name, email, and company details of the particular lead, and then instant lead scoring. So based on the lead's response to the qualification questions, ChatGPT can assign a lead score to determine its quality for sales engagement. So the chatbot can reference historical data and patterns to assign these kind of scores. And next, after assigning the lead score, we have to route the particular lead to a sales representative. So once the lead is qualified and scored, ChatGPT can automatically route the lead to appropriate sales representative or any predefined rules or criteria. It can check the availability and workload of a sales rep before routing to make sure it is an efficient distribution. And once the lead is assigned to a sales rep, the sales rep get notified, right? So ChatGPT can send instant notification to the assigned sales representative to know them about the new lead and providing the details of the lead's interaction details. So this ensures that the sales reps are informed promptly and can respond in timely manner. And lead data capture in Salesforce. So ChatGPT can integrate with Salesforce to input the lead data directly into the CRM system. So creating a new lead record or like updating the existing one. So this will eliminate the need for manual data entry in the Salesforce. Also, it will reduce the error and it saves time. And ChatGPT can assist sales rep by providing relevant information about the lead interaction with the company, such as website visits or previous inquiries which was made by the lead to the company, or any downloaded resources. So it can suggest some conversation starters or talking points, which will help the sales reps to engage effectively. By integrating ChatGPT into Salesforce for lead qualification or routing, the company can streamline the sales process and ensure that the leads are handled effectively and the responses are made timely manner to the lead by the sales process. Uh, sorry, by the sales representative. So this is one kind of use case of ChatGPT in Salesforce. So we can see more example in further in the demo. So now move on to the next slide. So best practices and ChatGPT security risk. Okay. So integrating the ChatGPT or any other AI-powered chatbot into your system requires some considerations of best practices and security measures to avoid the potential risk. So data privacy and compliance. So this is the first best practice. Ensure that your chatbot complies with the data protection regulates such as GDPR or CCPA. So be transparent with the users about the data collection and usage. Implement secure integration methods with your system. So it is advisable to include robust authentication or authorization protocols. So the next one is encrypt data transmission between the chatbot and your system to protect the sensitive information. Implement user authentication and authorization mechanism to control who can access and interact with the chatbot. Then we have to monitor and log the responses. Like we have to implement robust monitoring and logging of chatbot interaction to detect and respond to the security incidents in a real time. And the most important is keep the chatbot software and any underlying technologies up to date with security patches and the updates. Restrict access to the sensitive chatbot configuration and data to authorized personnel only. So don't allow everyone to access the authorized content. And thoroughly test the chatbot for vulnerability, including penetration testing before the deployment it in the production environment. And the final best practice is develop a clear incident response plan to address security breaches or any vulnerabilities. And the security risk we can expect while integrating ChatGPT with the Salesforce. So, if not properly secured, chatbots can become a potential entry point for attackers to gain unauthorized access to sensitive data. And the next one is malicious actors who can use the chatbots to distribute phishing links or any deceive users into revealing sensitive information from our organization. And chatbot may generate or display inappropriate or offensive content which can harm your brand. And then chatbots might inadvertently reveal sensitive information if not properly programmed to handle the data securely. If your chatbot relies on any external APIs, ensure that these APIs are securely and properly authenticated. And chatbot can be spoofed or leading to any unauthorized access or fraudulent activities. Relying too heavily on chatbots without any human oversight will leads to any threats or any misresponses of our queries. And if not carefully secured, the training data for chatbots can introduce bias that result in unfair responses. To overcome this security risk, it is essential to follow up the best practices and conduct regular security assessments and maintain a proactive approach to the security. Okay, now let's move on to the next slide. Open AI limitations. Okay, so OpenAI GPT-3 and similar models have some made advancements in natural language understanding and generation, but they still have some limitations, like its last knowledge update in September 2021 only. So it is important to keep these limitations in mind while integrating it with Salesforce. So lack of real understanding is a major limitation. So GPT-3 and similar models generate text based on patterns in the data they were trained on, but they do not possess real understanding. So they have to provide response based on statistical association rather than the genuine response. And these model generate factually incorrect information, biased content, or any outputs which is not relevant to our request. So they can reflect the biases present in the training data. While they are good at capturing short-term text, they may struggle with maintaining a consistent understanding of a topic or a conversation over a more extended dialogue. So these kind of scenarios will lead to contradictory responses. So the choice of wording in input query is more significantly impact the model's response. Slight changes in our input query will give different results, making it challenging to control the output fully. And GPT-3 and similar models can generate text, but it is entirely misleading. So this can be problem for information reliability. So the quality of the generated output depends on the quality of the data, which is were trained on the models. So if the training data contains bias or inaccuracies or any uh, any other response, the model may propagate them. So generating coherent and relevant text over long conversation or complex discussion may be challenging of these models. So leading to the response that will go away from the original query. So there are ethical concerns related to the use of AI models like GPT-3, particularly in terms of misinformation and potential misuse for malicious purposes. While fine tuning can be used to make the models more controlled and safer, it can be challenging to achieve the desired level of control over the generated content. Users of this model should exercise caution, apply human sight, and aware of some potential shortcomings and using them in various applications. So be sensitive to the input phrasing and might not always ask clarifying the question when faced with any other queries. So any queries so far? Okay, let me take us know and move on to the next slide.
Integration process. To integrate ChatGPT with Salesforce, basically we need a Salesforce account. It may be any edition like developer edition or enterprise edition, anything. Then we have to create a ChatGPT account. After that, creating a ChatGPT account, in the ChatGPT account, we have to generate a API key. So now let me show you how to generate a API key in ChatGPT account. I already create the ChatGPT account, so now just I am continue with Google. Go to personal. Here, click on View API key. Here we can generate our new API key. So this is the one we have already created for our demo purpose. So now just give any name. So we have to save this API key for our future integration. Okay. After creating a key, we need to create a chatbot application by using LWC or Aura component. In technical implementation side, first we have to set our endpoint URL in remote site settings. Why we are adding our endpoint URL in remote site setting is to avoid accessing unauthorized website from a Salesforce. So that the website first need to register with the remote site settings. Once the site is registered, it can be used in within Salesforce. So now let me go to the Salesforce org. Okay, in setup, we can search for remote site settings. So this is the one we can create for our demo. So this is the ChatGPT endpoint URL which we have to provide, and make sure your remote site setting is active. So this next we have to paste our API key in custom settings. Here in custom settings, we create one field name called key. In that, we can store our API key. So this is our record, and in that, we can store our API key. So next, we have to create a REST callout. The callout and the demo part will be covered by Dharani.
Okay, so now let's see the demo. So here we have integrated the ChatGPT with Salesforce using a LWC component. For that, Uh, so for that, first we see our controller. So this is an Apex class ChatGPT handler, which acts as a controller to connect Salesforce with ChatGPT. Okay, so here first we have retrieved the key value, which is stored in the custom setting. And also we have mentioned the endpoint of the ChatGPT. And now we are using the REST service to call the connect with the chat GPT from Salesforce. So here we have mentioned our request body and endpoint set method, header, and everything. So in the request body, we can see the some parameters like model, prompt, max tokens, etc. So model means it specifies the use for generating text. And in this case, it is set to text Javancy 003 model. And the prompt, which is a parameter where you provide the input text or query for the model. It seems like you are including we are including the value for search query escaped as the input parameter from the LWC component. And max token is 4000. So this parameter sets the maximum number of tokens the model should generate in the response. In our case, we have provided us 4000. And we can add more parameters like temperature, stream, and top. So those parameters are based on our requirements. So temperature means which controls the randomness of the model output. If it is zero means the output deterministic produce the same output for the same input. And the stream parameter, the value can be true or false. So false means the stream parameter determines whether a response from the API should be streamed or return a single response. And top is also another parameter. So, so if I give values 0.5 means it will consider tokens with a cumulative probability of 50% or higher. Okay, so we have set the request body parameter and also set the endpoint and set method as post. Now we are sending the response and sending the request and get the response. Now let's move on to the LWC component. So this is the LWC component chat GPT. So this HTML page is for just UI purpose. And here we are getting the response from the controller and parse the response as much it is available for the user experience. And now on to the demo. Okay, so this is our generated LWC component. Now I'm going to search something from here. It will automatically connect to the chat GPT and retrieve the response. So now I'm Now I'm asking for to write a Apex class to retrieve account records with limit 2. So it will generate an Apex class with get account record method, which querying account records with limit 2. So like that, we can query any, we can request any kind of uh, queries or any Apex classes or any test classes related to our requirements. And it will also write batch Apex class. It is another example. Okay, so now it has returned the batch class as a skeleton model of the batch class. So we can alter it based on our requirement. So these are some examples of ChatGPT with Salesforce. We can use for like we can write test classes from providing it with any Apex classes. So these are some examples with our ChatGPT. So so that's it. Any queries?
I do have one question related to the demo that you just showed. So
Okay.
I know that you showed how to interact with ChatGPT with respect to writing the Apex classes in general. How can we invoke ChatGPT to query the data and get useful information regarding our sales processes? Let's say if the marketing team wants to just look out for such certain information regarding leads, and they do not want to search for the record, or they do not want to go ahead and look for a particular information on any particular record. Is there something that we can do with ChatGPT with respect to our Salesforce data?
So if you're asking like ChatGPT will inquire our Salesforce data, right?
Correct. Yeah, within our org only. I mean, it should be able to help us get some meaningful information out of our Salesforce org to help the users and ease out their process.
Yes, we can do that.
Are
By
there any
using our
settings we need
API
to?
key, we can fine tune that our model regarding what we need like that.
I mean, the demo that you just showed, it only generated the API key, and we just embedded it in our Salesforce using the custom settings. But how are we going to prompt ChatGPT to inquire data from our Salesforce and give the meaningful information? Like if we go back to the demo or that you just showed, if I try and query about an existing data, will it be able to answer it on itself, or are there any additional configurations that we might have to do?
No, we have to set some additional configurations for that.
Okay. All right.
Any other queries? So any other queries from the team?
I think all are good, Dharani. Looks like.
Okay.
James, if you have any question, we can discuss. Otherwise, we can wrap up. We can meet in our next meetup. Yeah.
Sir, I have a question. Like the ChatGPT which we have integrated, it's version 4 or below that?
It's a 3.5.
3.5. Okay. So can we get this document or the presentation file?
Sure.
Yeah, we will share the recordings.
No, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, team. Thanks for joining. We'll meet on the next session.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, bye.
Thank you, team.
Thanks.
Thanks, team.